Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing an adventures with plastic crack video, and if any of these fit in a case, it would kind of be a case study, but this is just sort of a group, technically my first group video. So this video is going to be all about the styling heads that I have right now. Apparently I have 6 of them, and I would get more. They're interesting in terms of sizing for dolls. So the oldest one that I have is this one. She uses the 1976 styling head. It's squishy. It's got the superstar head mold. Where is my... Oh, I should have gotten the ruler. Hold on. I will correct that. The head itself is about 5.5 inches tall, and the shoulder base here is Arco 1988. I think Arco is actually a subdivision of Mattel, but they make a lot of the plastic play sets and things. So we have a chunk of hard plastic here, and made by Arco. The base here is kind of like a sweatshirt, off the shoulder sweater or sweatshirt, sort of a knit look. And I didn't redo this, it came like this. I found it at the dump, had to clean the mouse droppings off of it, so I cleaned her up a little bit and have had her sitting in my room for a few years now because I couldn't find out what she was, right? I have the stamp date on the shoulders, Arco 1986, which means it issued in 87. Not sure which year this base came from. And this sort of late 80s, early 90s kind of makeup. And the hair, not sure how that was originally because it's all chopped off and stiff and crunchy. So I finally found out earlier this year what this is. This is a 1988 Make Me Pretty Barbie. And it might, because of this pink base, it might actually tie in with the Perfume Pretty dolls. So instead of redoing her completely with like red hair and trying to do her up like Scottish Doll of the World Barbie like I had originally thought, I'm going to probably reroute her and style her to look more like Perfume Pretty Barbie, because even though I already have her, just because she's a different size. I've never been super enthralled with this hot pink lipstick, but then again, maybe I could do her up like Dance Club Barbie and just go with the base here now that I know what it is. So I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with her, but I definitely need to reroute this hot mess here. And the only other one I found of this before I finally found out what this was had slightly different makeup and a blue sweater base, and I'm not sure what that one was either. They did a couple of changes right around 88, 89, and I think this is actually pretty rare because it took me several years to even find out what it was. So... And she did have ear holes for her earrings, but she didn't have any, so I put these fuse earrings in that one of my friends made and gave to me. They look pretty good, I think. So the next one I have comes from that 88-89 phase, because in 1988 they made a different Barbie styling head. It's a little bit smaller. Those cheap bastards, they shrank her. So the shoulders look almost identical, they're just smaller, right? They still have the angle, and the head mold is considerably smaller. It's the same superstar head, just the shrunk, and the plastic is a little stiffer. Oh, the ruler. So this head is about 4 inches tall instead of about 5.5. And it's has the same angle on the neck This one is got pulled open by the wire in the box. It was like that for almost 30 years, so it just doesn't go back in. And then this one, so you see that her neck has the same swivel angle, like ever since the 1971 Beauty Center, which had the twist and turn head mold. I don't have one of those yet. So anyway, I have this new size that started 88 on the date on the head, so it probably came out in 89. This is the 1992 Totally Hair styling head that I redid. I have a whole video about her, and you can see that the base is originally pink and there's some oxidation there. It's like kind of yellow on the bottom edge. So it took me 7 hours to repaint her face and to make her entirely pink blouse thing here match the set. And I pulled her head off and put this headband slash belt from the Black Barbie on her as a tie the whole room together here. Let me lift this up a little bit. Slightly smaller 1989 styling head superstar. Okay, so I'm gonna get to the next one in time. Well, the next one's actually 2016, but I'm gonna skip ahead to 2016 for a second. Or I said that backwards. So I'm gonna skip ahead to 2017. This, let me angle it down again. Oops. Okay. A little soggy there. Okay. I'm gonna back this up to get her whole thing in the frame here. Lift it back up a little bit. Okay. So this is a 2017 Barbie styling head. It had small shoulders with oh, I can't even see it in here. I've got it covered up. So let me bring her out here for a second. It's set up similar to this, where there's a hollow flesh base and there's a pink sweetheart thing painted on, and the necklace, there's like a pink necklace painted on as well, and the design changes from year to year, and I don't remember what hers was. It might have been a butterfly or a bee symbol for Barbie. So I added padding to the outside of her shoulders. Or did I add padding? I did not. Okay, so this is the natural width of her plastic shoulders. And I've covered it in this same leftover suede fabric that I've got on the bodice on my size Barbie. I braided her hair into these tiny sections and these skull beads. I had to get a second packet of beads to finish it. It took forever. I've only slightly changed her face paint here. I've just painted over her lips. They were like a bright pink, and then the eyeshadow here that I've painted orange was pink as well, and I left everything else how it was. So this head actually has a full swivel, even though the base is cheaper. They started making these in, I think, 2010. This kind of styling head in this size that originally had the Generation Girl head mold, and now it has the Millie head mold, which is what this is since 2014. So this is the smallest styling head that they have now that I'm aware of for Barbie. This is a really hard plastic. I can barely even squeeze it. I don't know what rerouting it would be like, but I didn't do that. I just painstakingly braided her hair and then kind of put it in segments. And I'm going to just turn it around here so you can see all of the braids. I have her propped up on these mini chalkboards because the way that I made this, it's at an angle and she'll flop backwards, so I had to prop her up. So I gave her these epaulettes. This is material left over from my the silver is left over from my Snug Fuzz outfit that I made for my miniature Cinderella. These are actual earrings that I bought. They're too heavy for my ears because I have problems, so I think I drilled her ears with the Dremel tool, and then I put these in there. And this is some leftover sequin stretchy ribbon stuff. And this pin here that says Barbie is an actual Barbie collector pin that I got right around the turn of the millennium. I think it was for joining the fan club and getting the kit and stuff. This is a hat that I made for a Halloween costume. It's like styrofoam or some kind of foam and velvety stuff and some satin material from a jacket and an antique pin that I found somewhere, like an actual maybe Victorian era pin. And this veil thing that I attached here is from a 1987 Barbie wedding gown that I used to have. I cut it off of the little lace hat and put it on here. I don't remember what the series was called exactly, but it was the one where Ken had a tux that I think was about this color and one of those like ruffled shirts like Beetlejuice wears when he's trying to get married to Lydia. So this, I did her up as Halloween. I call her Skull Witch. These same head mold, these same styling heads, they come in a couple of different varieties. This one, the box says 7 pieces on it, so it's cheaper. And then they have the exact same thing, the same necklace and a hairstyle and everything, same face paint. Same thing, same year, and they have it with 20 pieces, which would be a little more expensive. So they're really hard to tell apart when they're not in the packaging. Okay, so, and this one is made by, the 2 previous ones I showed were both made by the Arco subsidiary. This one is made by Just Play, and I don't know if it's a separate company or if it's part of Mattel, but they make a lot of different styling heads for Disney princesses and some other stuff. But they make this. So this head is the exact same head that they use for the 28-inch Best Fashion Friends. And they have this, the Barbie, and then they have a brunette, which they don't really label these. But here's the brunette. She has the 2004 summer head mold, but I believe that she would be called Theresa in this set. She's the Hispanic doll. And I'm not going to show her whole thing because she's kind of large here. I'll show her eventually in a separate video. This is the original body, and they've got straight arms that are like rubbery and kind of gross. But she has the swivel head. It's the same size. It's the same stiffness. It's made by Just Play. Ooh. Dropped her little purse. And I also have a, that one was 2017. We have a 2018 Best Fashion Friend with the 2002 Desiree head mold, and she would be Nikki. This one I haven't clipped her eyelashes, so she still has ridiculous eyelashes. They made a new version with sort of hard plastic, bendable arms, more posable. And her legs are slightly more posable, but it's hard to show that on here. So this and that are the same size. So I believe in terms of sizing, how much time? I've got 5 minutes left on this. So this one is a 28-inch size, and the head is, it's a little bit over 4 inches, more like 4.5. So it's about the same size as this. Let me see if I can get her any closer. Yeah, they're actually about the same size. So she might be like 27 inches. She's just ever so slightly smaller. Let me pick this up. She's really back heavy. Got this hat pinned on, but it keeps kind of falling off. Okay, move her over here. Okay. No. I believe that this doll would be 30 inches. In 1978 or so, they had the same styling head base. There'd be a lot bigger with this sort of swoopy part that comes up in the middle. They had a Marie Osmond styling head that Mattel made. So I think it would be the same scale. And then they had a 30-inch modeling doll that might have had the same head. So I'm estimating based on the size of the fashion friend that this would be about 30 inches for if she was on a full body. Now, what's interesting is that these dolls, their shoulders are, I think, narrower than the styling head, which is a little bit suspicious. Because their heads are a little bit too big for their bodies. So I'm going to go on to another segment before I talk about these other three ladies that I have here. Okay. So, of course, now that I've got it all set up, she's like too far away. Of course. Okay. This is a 2016 Crimp in Color Deluxe Styling Head. Now, when I bought her, she was listed as Olivia. This is a large version. We got here about 6.5 inch tall on her head. The whole thing is 12. So she was marked as Olivia when I bought her in 2016. There's a whole set of the styling head. She's got these swivel hands. She had a bunch of accessories that you could change with these little crystals. So I've got this ring that she came with. I've painted her fingers with the nail polish that I had to make them sort of match her outfit. It's almost the same color. It's a little bit darker. Because she had pink color changing fingernails, and I just wasn't about that. So there's the hand base here. There's a little bit of gap there. It's dated 2014, but I think this same style with the hands originally came out in 2004, but they've just got a different base thing here. So this is 2014 and this is 2016 with this face here. So it's a pretty hard head. It is swivelly. There. And her glasses keep falling off her head. And she has this clip here with hair in it, and it was pink, so I changed it out with some Color Magic yellow from restoredoll.com. I have a small Olivia, the same head, in blonde. That's a fashionista, so she's part of the fashionista line. This is a large version of her, and she's the Asian doll. And I loved her so much that I bought another one of her in 2017. So let me move this. This is her twin sister here. Now she looks a little bit smaller, and that's because I'm pretty sure her head is the exact same size, but she ended up looking smaller because they changed the base. I feel like the head's the same and the hands are the same, but the base is ever so slightly smaller. I think it's a little bit narrower, but it's hard to tell. But what they did do that's noticeably different is on the part where the hands attach, you can see they're lower and shorter. Right, the hands aren't as big. And they don't have this gap here. They're tightened it up. They're using less plastic. So the appearance of her being smaller might be entirely due to the fact that they've chopped her arms down a little bit, which is kind of freaking me out right now. I think the hands are the same size though. But yeah, I think the this part is just a little bit smaller too. The the bust line doesn't protrude as much. She has a matching ring, but it actually came from the parts that go with this other one over here, which I'll show you in a second. So this is the 2017. This, and these are both also made by Just Play, like the 28-inch one. Barbie Flip and Reveal Deluxe Styling Head, black and blue. And I've got it styled so that her blue streaks are up and all over the place. She came with a little barrette and a little bit of blonde hair, which I've chosen to leave as it was instead of changing it. So there's Olivia again. She's just slightly different than her sister, but they look pretty similar. And this necklace came with the Totally Hair doll. It was just way too huge for her. And it was actually even too big for this one, so I scaled it up here. So if this was an actual freestanding doll, she'd probably be 40 or 42 inches. And I've painted her with the same black and purple glitter nail polish that I used on my size Barbie on her painted on leotard thing. So we have purple here for her. Now this one in 2017 was not labeled as Olivia. She was labeled as either Asian or as blue and black. And again, she's got her ring here that sort of matches her sister, but I actually stole that from pieces from their best friend over here. Using the same 2016 or 2017 base, and I've painted her nails with this copper color. And I've drilled a hole in her nose with a Dremel tool, and I've popped this shamrock earring in here. She's got a little nose ring. She came with a clip-on hair piece and some hair dye that was like neon orange, and I was like, oh, whatever, I'll use some of the hair dye gel. And it got like really crusty, like putting crayon wax on it, and then it faded to a pale pink color, so I threw it out. I was like, I'm not dealing with that. So she's got this woven look headband, this beautiful chocolate skin tone, I don't know what that is on her hand, and this lovely copper and orange situation, and some beautiful burnt orange in her voluminous curls here. I love it. So she has also a new head mold. She's replacing the large version of Desiree. So previously they would have used this head mold. And because they don't name any of the dolls in the Fashionistas line, they're usually named on a whim if you find out what their head mold is. Like this one over here would be Olivia to me now and forever. This first appeared on a Fashionista doll called Cheerful Check, so I just call that one Cheerful. And they actually use her for Hispanic dolls now too. They just have her with a slightly lighter skin tone, like a lighter brown or like a tan. But there's another doll in this series. This one is the 2018 Color and Style Deluxe Styling Head 25 piece. Now some of these that look exactly the same have different number of pieces in them, so it gets confusing. But there's another one that this one came out like December of 2018 at the very end of the year. And then 2019 they had one that was blue, dark skin, straight hair with black and blue with blue streaks. And then they had a lighter one that was Hispanic with this same head mold in the 2019 that had like purple or something, like a lighter purple, that had straight hair. So they had two that were almost identical that they released right after this. So I don't know if this one is rare or hard to find or what, but I was not about to pass up the chance to get her. So I think I spent like 40 or 50 bucks to make sure I didn't miss out on this one. But I just did a tiny pinch of customization, and I'm really glad that I have her because she is gorgeous. So I don't have this size in the Millie head mold, which is this one. But I might get one eventually. There's one that has a silver base that I kind of liked. And I don't have summer head mold in this size either. But I do want to go back and get more. They take up a lot of room, but they're really interesting, and I haven't done that much with them. But they're really stunningly gorgeous. It's kind of like if you took a fashionista and made it big, and then just kind of chopped her off at the shoulders. So they all have these big hands that kind of get in the way, but I do enjoy them with the matching nail polish that I put on. So those are my styling heads. I do have another large size doll. She's only 17 inches tall though, and I'm in the process of redoing her, so I might do a makeover video when I actually work on her. But those are my styling heads and the information that I have on them. These ones are all made by Just Play. Alright, so if you want to see more adventures with plastic crack, I'm gonna hold up the sign here. Work with me, ladies. Technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. Ah, perfect. Ish. Okay. So if you want to see more adventures with plastic crack, I have an entire playlist called Such for my dolls. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe. Check out my other playlists because I've got different art stuff. I've got tarot. I've got some other things going on. So check out the playlist tab. Check out the discussion tab for links to various things. I do have art items that are not doll customizations available in my catalog. I have made to order items. I do have dolls listed, but as made to order, but I would have to get pieces because I'm not selling any of mine right now. I have other made to order items. I have my little chapbook packs, which is poetry and art bits jammed in a little mystery envelope. I've got some prints and merch, on Cafe Press and DeviantArt. Most of them are psychedelic. I do have a couple of fashion designs in those places, because if you're into the dolls, you might also be into the fashion. So check those out. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment if you're nasty. If you want to donate, energy exchange, you can hit that tip jar, paypal.me/CATtheMinion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. Those are CATtheMinion as well. I think that's everything. Alright. Stay groovy. See you later. Bye.